Week number 3 of ASL kicks off right here, Wednesday, term 1, with some Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen. AR alongside Altruism once again, and we are hyped to get into that Fortnite action.
Man, this year has been off to such a hot start. We are so well entrenched in school esports as a legacy at schools. And here's a place for people to make a name for themselves, for schools to stand up and take over. And Wednesdays, to me, AR has always screamed edge mead. And so, I'm interested to see, we're finally kicking off. Is there a team that's finally come together, that's got everything right? Has someone changed days along the way? Because, guys, we have 3 days of Fortnite. We bring you the action on 2 of them, Wednesdays and Thursdays, but 3 games, 6 lobbies a week for people to step up and shine. And AR, every moment that we get to see is one for heart.
Oh, absolutely. We said it last week. Pure cinema is what we witness here on ASL. And here's where I'm interested to see if that predictability comes through. We've had a couple weeks now. We've had enough games where these guys can feel out their opposition. I want to see if that predictability comes into play, because we see these teams go ahead and have their dedicated landing spots, their dedicated weapons that we always see. I want to see if that's going to change up. Of course, Fortnite is a game known for having things changed up consistently, and with Chapter 7, we have seen that happen. I mean, that Deadeye assault rifle alt, how many times have we seen someone just beam another player using that wingsuit for mobility?
Yeah. The Deadeye assault rifle means you don't need snipers at all. You are threatening builds. You are threatening headshots from 200 meters away when you get that thing right, and consistent damage. It's amazing. We got ourselves a leaderboard right now. The wingsuit definitely coming back to that. Mobility has always been Fortnite. But right now we see Rondobosch. I think this leaderboard is a little bugged when it shows everyone with 0 points.
This is today's standings.
This is for today, right? Just a highlight of who you can look out for in these lobbies, right? We'll update this throughout the matches and bring you who's kind of standing out this week in number 3.
And that's what I love to see, that every single week we get to see teams push to stand out on that leaderboard, push to have their names out there, and so many new names as well, all that we get to see in here. Last year, we got to see domination from certain teams. This year, we get to see these new names make that name for themselves, earn their way into the top of that leaderboard, and of course, become the mega stars in the making that we keep on talking about here in ASL. Of course, shout out to Ace and Nitro for making it all possible, for having these grassroots and creating the future of esports.
You know, esports is growing at every level. We get to see massive tournaments. We've got the biggest fighting games tournaments on our stages. We've got RLCS for Rocket League, 3 million rands worth of prizes. There is a future for esports, and now there is dedication to follow alongside it, and you can see it. We talk about how much Fortnite changes season after season. It brings us something new, and these youngsters are picking it up and applying it proficiently, and with a bit of class, a bit of flair, a little bit of flavor, right? That they develop over a month. These guys are working hard. They're stepping up, and it's beautiful to watch. Welcome to ASL if you guys are new.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to see that megastars in the making, like Alt said, we bring you those games here on this channel 2 times a week. So don't miss out. 4 p.m. is when we usually start. So be here, set a reminder to watch these megastars. But Alt, let's talk a little bit about the metas that we've seen now in Fortnite. Of course, that Deadeye assault rifle, you talk about it. No need for snipers anymore if you can just beam with that laser. Then, of course, that wingsuit for mobility. It's something that these players want to obviously have. And we've seen it where these players use it not to just get into zone, but to take height on top of a rock that we didn't even see in the map.
That fighting for the high ground has been a big thing, especially towards those later zones where you can just kind of like sky bridge out over everyone. No one looks up. And the mobility of the wingsuit allows you to kind of threaten that. It allows you, like you say, to evade the zone. But also, you combine that with the Deadeye assault rifle, you get a good couple of shots in there. You get a good knock. Your team, all with wingsuits, is going to collapse faster than most of the seasons that we've seen in recent past. And some wonderful new POIs, right? AR? Some beautiful ones as well.
Yeah, wonky land as we see over here in the flyovers as well. But let's talk about something else that Fortnite had. The diamond is beautiful, by the way. It's so happy. I love it. Let's talk about another thing that Fortnite added for this chapter. that rolling down hills and having
Yeah.
momentum when you're knocked.
Get some distance, manage to get yourself into a safe space so that your team can get a better res off there. You can even get yourself out of the storm if the hills are on your side. It adds just an extra life. It almost feels like that on the end. So being able to finish off kills is so impactful, probably more so than it has been before, that being able to close down the distance and take advantage. Because it's the teams who take a good advantage and then work off that do so well, and they take advantage by having a good start. This is the one part of the map as we head here into our first lobby that teams can have a little bit more control. They've got their set landings, they've got their set routes. They are.
Yeah, set routes, and you look at that map, everyone heading to the north side as well, and it seems to be happening week after week now. Players prefer this north side as Darth Death gonna spot out Redman on the top of that hill. Enforcer Assault Rifle gonna take a few shots, but Redman gonna back off almost instantly. And of course, you don't want to go ahead and get knocked, which we do see from 4 damage in that kill feed, because it is placement and eliminations that are gonna count to those points all.
Yeah. Yeah, even if you just get out with one person in a team fight that's not going your way, that is sometimes worth it. You can buy back respawns now, and you can get yourself into, you know, the second last zone, the last zone we've seen before of a solo player running so late into the game. Just play smart. Get what kills you can, but never give away your entire team's life. Pretty much what dictates the top teams here in ASL.
Yeah, we have 20 teams within here, 50 players in this lobby, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch that slurp truck go ahead and fuel all of these shields for these players over here, Jello, Michaela, and Shogun, as they are by the Clausy Lodge, I should say. A lot of players up north, a couple teams down south. Sus Studios always going to be home to a team, Classified Canyon as well. There are some players in areas that aren't even POIs out. They're just looking to go ahead and get any floor loot that they may find. But Wonky Land, this is probably your favorite POI from this chapter, from this season. I mean, this is what I wanted to point out last week, but we never got a chance because the action was so hot. There's mini games in here.
There we go.
There's that mythic, or that legendary Deadeye, I should say, that pops out of that cannon if you do the minigame.
Man, I love the depth of Fortnite. It's one of my favorite shooters for that reason, is that if you know the game, if you put in the time to understand what Wonky Land has to offer, or any of the other unique POIs, and that little minigame where you have to shoot down the targets, you guarantee yourself basically some amazing decked out inventories. And it's not always guns that win fights, you know. There's a lot of play around that. It's actually going to be put on the defensive now. Frosty and Darth Death. Darth Death is a great name. Sitting on the high ground, poking away, but they are a duo versus now a decked out team.
And you saw that even though they had the height advantage over there, if you're going up against a legendary Deadeye, it doesn't matter how much height advantage you have. You saw how Frosty got beamed over there in a couple of shots, in a matter of seconds. And had to back up and pop that heal. Michaela popping heals at the same time. 14 HP is not a lot to work with, especially when we have the talents and the skills of these players in this lobby, as we see that smoke go down to heal off on the opposing team.
Couple of jetpacks around here. It's been a quiet start here. There was just enough PORs and distance between squads that they could largely avoid fights, but Storm's starting to close in now, and teams are looking to make their way towards the center, forcing them close together. This lovely engagement that we got right now. Some decent inventories, most people with one decent gun, if that, or at least some mobility to contribute. And the push comes out. Bismarck, Tex, and Roosteroo going to be pushing in there, and counterattack comes out straight away. Yellow caught unawares under the corners there, and Tex going to be able to finish that off. 3v2 now. This could be our second squad eliminated. Everyone staying close together. The trio working as a singular unit to isolate off. Don't need to rush this. Heal up, Roosteroo. Make sure they don't get taken out, unfortunately, and slow you down. Skip the Shogun. Going to be taken out. SKZ, the last of all. Actually, no. There's still one alive here. Oh, trying to do the roll. It's good, but it's not that good.
It's so funny to watch. I love that they added ragdoll physics to Fortnite out of every game possible. It's probably the most fun that you could have, but I do believe that last player has booked it by now. And you saw over there that Skiz tried to go for that res, and an untimely res, I should say, as that Deadeye went ahead and beamed. But what I like to see also, Alt, is these players are now using SMGs more often than not. We are getting to see that flex SMG more and more in fights as we find ourselves in another fight over here. Santa gets taken out. Cabo is keeping angles, just looking over this ramp, not wanting to give away positions. Zero chill. About to get beamed in the back. Not every bullet hitting, not as much as I think Spicy wanted over there. Beam as well on this side with a MK7. Rams does get taken down. Manages to save himself from any fall damage. And now on the ultimate height of Zero Chill. Volksy doesn't spot them on height. Gets beamed. Taken out to what, 20 HP? But
nice.
Good enough. There's some beams coming through to go ahead and save their life. As I do believe, yes it is. Zero Chill getting that kill. Getting that thirst and getting that HP back up.
Man, it was such a nice little cross angle. But Soul Spicy on one side meant that they were kind of divided and gets a nice angle, gets so much damage, but a great counter-attack from Zero Chill. And the short range, if you've got a shotgun, which has dominated most of the minute. Oh, now getting beamed down themselves. Fierce Ink, third party comes in. Zero Chill just gets out. Not too much permanent HP damage. Don't know how much shields they've got, so backs out the way. And teammate taking to this guy. Volksis? We'll go with that. Managing to use the wingsuit, loop-de-looping just in case there's straight fire coming in, but gets away and creates some distance. Don't know if anyone's chasing. I assume the blue team is the opposition. No, this squad seems to just be groping up and getting out.
I do like the balancing of that wingsuit, even though it's you have the ability to sort of glide as far as you want. There's still a trail that gets left behind. It's not just you immediately disappearing. There is that chance for the opposing team to go ahead and maybe, just maybe, hunt you down and find you out to get that elimination. As we find ourselves by a team next to one of the new additions as well, the hot air balloons, another form of, I don't want to call it mobility, but we'll call it a height advantage, yeah? Of course, the balloons can get popped, but being shot on that balloon is quite difficult. Josh, however, Josh with a beautiful beam, up close and personal, takes down Absorb Spoon, picks up that loot, and now looks to go ahead, help his team out to get even more eliminations.
Josh has been a name that we've seen a couple of times there, and Spoon was just trying to close the distance, didn't really have an advantage, and didn't expect Josh to stand up, say hello, and you can see the time to kill in this game is reduced to nothing. What a lineup Carl's got right now. Looking for them to peek out into the open, sees them evacuate the builds, and now the 3-2-1 core as the team can engage. Frosty stays still for half a second. Shots don't connect as well as they would have liked, but it's still an advantage. So Kyle and the rest of the squad going to push down the rest of it. Shotgun in hand, looking for a bolt over the top in the same box. One tag, two for the finish. Goes for the confirmation straight away. What a clean execute coming out.
Full box shotgun gets Frosty taken out and waiting to be rebooted. Now a launch pad on top of that. They can just leave whenever they want, and they're gonna leave right now. Of course, they are gonna get that height advantage from that mist. It's gonna give them that zero gravity effect, and you can see how much distance they get off of this launch pad. And they go straight to a reboot as well. It's Jello and squad. They managed to get rebooted, but this is gonna be a dire situation for them. A team landing directly on the fresh reboots.
Oh, this is what we see from the great teams. They go from one fight to the other. They get their loot. They hunt down the next target. And that would be Jello in this fight. It's taken down straight away. And it's on to finish off the rest of the team. Not exactly sure who came back in, but everyone seeming to be in dire trouble as Divine takes an off angle, controls the space with the build, lets the teammates move in there. And it's just a noose waiting to be tightened. Shogun going to be the first one down. SKZ. We saw them take a good fight earlier, but that's going to be the end of that fight, end of their journey now, and still 16 teams left.
Yeah, surprisingly, we've seen a lot of gunplay and gunfire go through, but we still have 40 players left in this game, and it's something that we see every single time here on ASL. We get to those end zones with like 12 teams left, and we're on par with it right now with the numbers. We move over to Ethan, Voxy, and Zero Chill. They spot a team above them, and you can see them getting that wingsuit in the distance.
There's the trail.
Following that trail. Yep, and there's that trail that they get to follow. Truther, unaware that there's a team, or two teams, I should say, to their left.
Oh, no.
And this is a scary situation now as well for this duo. And we talk about numbers game all the
no.
time, Alt.
Look at that map. There are 2 teams headed directly towards him. In fact, it might be more. I think there's 3 teams looking for this. This isn't going to just be third party. This is going to be a bloodbath. Watch that kill feed light up. This is duo, the epicenter of it all. Kind of hunkers down, realizes that someone's lurking about, and maybe needs to avoid this damage. Get some return fire. Find someone coming from the other direction. It's going to be 0 kill. Chill. Taking that first kill. Truther gets picked up by a Volxus on the other side. But I don't think that's kind of the center, the eye of the storm, it feels like. As more teams rotate.
That's so tough for the duo, but look how much people are here, and it's only Storm number 4 as we get taken down to 14 teams. King Jr. and squad on the high ground now. They spot out the Bulls. Voxy spots them out first with a big shot. A little bit of return fire is going to push Vox back. There's that mist once again, not only for cover, but for that heals. And you got to be thinking that this team is waiting for someone else to push in first. They want to be that third party. In fact, they go ahead and pop that launch pad with that zero gravity effect and move on.
They're getting out, so they're just going in for the engagement. Maybe getting a better spot to the battlefield, but shots are out. AWAC, a name we know very well, gets a double kill out in the distance. And teams now caught, shoot into the air, give away your position, your presence. Suddenly everyone understands how many teams have been lingering around this area. And decided to call ceasefire, get out with what you can. Hot dog popcorn in the air, the big target that everyone's trying to take down. Who can get the final kill points? It'll be Micah looking out there. I think this is our Edgemead team, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Twitch chat, but there goes the kill, down to 12.
I mean, that was a prime example of you can't stand still in ASL. You're focusing on Hot Dog, taking that wingsuit. What about AWAC and squad that spot you standing still? And then they steal that kill as well. It's insane. So we're down to 12 right now. Tixie gets taken down in that kill feed as well. And I want to point out that AWAC has the mythic double pump shotguns as well. The Akimbos in hand. Tixie is going to get revived over here very, very sneakily as we see Josh through the wall, waiting for that prime opportunity. The double days goes through though. Josh taking a bit too long to push in. Bismarck is down to 10 HP. Ooh, this is looking like their backs are against the wall as the shots come through. They connect. Tixie fighting back with all might, but gets taken out from the window behind them. And now it's just one left. Make that no one left. As the team gets wiped out, not knowing that there's a window behind them.
I want to see Josh's kills right now. I said earlier when he first lit up that it was a name that has come up time and time again and picks up, I think it was at least 2, maybe 3 in this fight. It's going to be Edgemead pressured out now. Monkey King, King Jr., and President Pravan all fighting it out. Taking it nice and slow. So waiting for a decent angle. They've got the better separation. Monkey King on the outside here has a nice shot. Takes some of the aggression. Wingsuits actually go out. They seem to have a go call. They decide to wrap around, dropping in from the top. King Jr.'s already been taken down, though. The timing a little bit off.
Oh, and look where Edgemead has to push in through as well. They've got to push through the height that has just been taken now from that wingsuit usage. Every team on the northern side of the circle as well. There's going to be so much fight, so much bloodshed over on this northern side. As Kyle looking to start that off, spotting wingsuit after wingsuit after wingsuit, and hey, spots a trio taking a swim and launching at the same time like it's a Valk ult out of Apex Legends as they move unanimously. And now the Storm pushing in as well, putting pressure on all of these players. The beams on Josh, but Josh evading every single one of them, and that's where the knowledge of using that wingsuit comes through.
Oh, Monkey King not as fortunate getting taken down there, but that was some serpentine motion. This game looks like ballet. That's what the movement turns into when you get it right. We've seen it from a couple of people. Teams rotate. We promised you 12 teams towards the final couple of circles. We got 11, and that's only just by the skin of their teeth. There's a couple of teams now trying to fortify what few resources they've got left. down to a duo, and there's no more reses forthcoming for any squad. So playing at a numbers disadvantage, and everyone just kind of claiming what little space that they've got. See what sort of advantage they can get. It's always the teams on high that seem to have the advantage here and going to get in whatever shots they can and add to those KPs. Oh, the balloon!
Look at south of the map as well. There's two teams still far out of the zone. And I don't know whether... I was going to say it might be better right now to sneak your way into the safe zone late. But there's two teams over here. It's CBK against Spicy's team. And the storm is moving. And we're at storm number 6 also out. We know how much the storm ticks for now. Wingsuits get deployed by CBK as they on their rotate. Wingsuits now from Spicy and squad have to pop as well. As there's 16 seconds left on the close, and that circle about to move one more time. And this is where your materials need to come into play, all.
And this is where the fortified teams have the advantage. You can see the shots firing out. Everyone looking towards the closing zone. And if you're out in the air on your own, you are a prime target. Everyone going to ignore each other. And there goes Darth Death, falling to their death. At the end of the day, rolling down the hill. Still going to be looking for the confirmation is Dragon. You want those extra KPs, and they're going to get them as well. Frosty going to be joining the graveyard as we head towards the zone, moving completely to the west, and teams starting to move already towards that, braving that early take damage just to get that foothold.
You're deep into the storm as well, trying to get that time positioning. Small Spicy hit quite hard over there. Shields cracked, in fact, and now all the teams, 9 squads, 21 players in storm number 7. They have less than a minute to start moving. They have less than a minute to go ahead and find any sort of positioning over here that's going to be beneficial to them. And you can see some teams just playing out the edge of zone. They're just trying to play it as slow as possible, trying to play for that placement. They know that maybe they can't get that KP up right now, but they can surely get at least a second on that placement.
Right, you can hear the shots in the distance. Every second you're alive is a better chance to score a couple of extra points for your school, and that's what it's all about. The leaderboards every week, the culmination of them towards the end of the season, looking for that final day. And this is where we go towards the final couple of zones. Still somehow sitting on 9 teams. AWAC and the rest of Edgemead. They're the ones to keep their eyes on. Pretty low kill count for this squad, but they are renowned for taking good couple of last zones. And what I'm really focused on AI right now is who takes the high ground.
We've seen it time and time again. The final few zones, the cones go down and the height gets managed perfectly by one team, leaving everyone else to scuddy down low amongst every other player, amongst all of the shots and all of the bullets. You want to be the first team to go ahead and take that right now. Zero Chill and company not looking the healthiest on shields, but they will manage in this final few zones, as the zone is going to move one more time towards Sandy Strip. And we have about 30 seconds for these teams to prep their way to go ahead and move. Look at the builds right now, Alt. So many builds. If we could go into free cam and have a look at what has been constructed by these players, that would be insane.
This is a network, a Warren, and what concerns me, AR, is that this is the committal of the resources. How many builds do people have left, and how many people are now going to get picked off on the way? They can't tunnel their way through. They don't have the resources to burn on the sky bridge. You're now caught between the zones, and that is doing so much damage. Kyle, the last person to earn some position points and keep us somehow still at 9 teams. Zone switching back and forth around this coastline. It is merciless. Dragon gonna go down as well. Manages to take Divine with them. Kyle, the last remaining member, and there we go. The position point starting to tick up down to 8 teams. We're ahead. This has to be one final zone. AR. Somehow, I can't believe we still have 12 players. Most teams are now down to a single person.
And the placement's not the only thing that's ticking up. The damage as well from that storm up to 10 now. You do not want to be caught out of that zone, not even for 1 second. As we can see the height from Kyle now. Trying to secure that as best as he can as a solo. Everyone else on the low ground, the builds, the edits coming through quickly. But sometimes you don't get that edit off and you get stuck in the storm like that. And with a 10 DPS storm, it's going to be that make it or break it in this final zone.
Oh.
5 teams as the shotgun shot comes through. Silent Flan gets some KP over there towards the end. We're down to 8 players left as Flan building up now, trying to get whatever height they possibly can. King Taylor as well, right in that same box. We see the Chug Jug on them as well. Kyle still on the height, Alton. The cone's still going out. Has those minis and 20 uses on that Chug Jug. King Taylor gets taken down. Voxy and Ethan, the last 2 alive for their team. They've secured so many eliminations over here. They have 10 KP to their name already, down to our top 4 teams. And look how tiny that zone is on the map. Shotgun shots coming through from Josh. Oh, big shotgun shot over there, but Voxy from behind goes ahead and gets that KP. Silent Plan doing the best that they can. Big damage to Ethan. We're down to 2 teams left, 3 players, and I believe it's a 2v1 situation. Voxy trying to do everything that they can, but look at Kyle. Kyle blocking them off with builds, and then the shotgun shot to end it off. The solo Kyle takes the victory royale for game number 1.
Aya, that was one of the best showcases of skill, but also skill is not enough. Sometimes you win your duel, and the third party who's millimeters away from you takes a single bullet, a shotgun to the side of your head, and you're just taken out. You can win, you can plan, you can think. Sometimes it's the high ground, and just lasting as a solo player, skirting above everyone. Everyone down below is so embroiled in their little conflicts and editing and pathing and avoiding the storm through this warren that we saw constantly. They don't have time to worry about the guy 3 stories up. So it's a great little play, but there's still a lot of KP that came out of that little tussle at the bottom. It's the balance between those two towards the end game. But what a furious finish.
Insane. I mean, Kyle over there rolled a nat 20 on stealth. I'm just going to say that. Dude was untouched in the entire time on high ground. And we see why high ground is so important as a solo. I think that's our first solo taking the dub of ASL 2026. Yeah. And that's a record right there on its own. But we still have another game of Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen. So don't go anywhere. We're going to tally up the leaderboard, have a quick intermission, and we'll be right back with game number 2.
It's Wednesday, my guys. And where would you rather be than right here? ASL Fortnite. Lobby number 1 had a crashing ending towards that, where everything just went wrong, everything went right for some, and what a thrilling way, and what an exhibition of what the grassroots esports scene, the grassroots, because this ASL, if you don't know, it's not just Fortnite. We go across multiple titles. There's Rocket League, there's Valorant, some of which are going to be showcased on this channel very soon. Keep an eye out for that. But AR, what a better way to spend a weekday afternoon, because we do this Wednesdays and Thursdays. You're going to be back here tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 p.m. is when we start over on this channel, so go ahead and click the notification icon so you don't miss out the megastars in the making. Alt, you talk about how it was crashing and burning for some players. Well, we have a 5-point lead between GHS and what's called Dynamica, which I believe that's Glenwood, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Glenwood High School taking first over there with 85 points. I mean, that alone, with a 5-point difference on game number 1, shows you how the skill level is for the schools league in Fortnite. And that alone, Kyle was disconnected from his team that entire time. He was a solo towards that end of the game. He played that perfectly. Like I said before the intermission, rolled a nat 20 on stealth and managed to walk away as the solo victor, the sole survivor of that first game of ASL Fortnite. Now we have a second game out. We've seen the metas, we've seen the drop locations, we've seen the rotations from these teams as best as we possibly can, with obviously the Storm and the Circle being the third party consistently. What do you think needs to change up for the teams on the lower end of that leaderboard?
Your loadout should be pretty standard at this stage. We've seen teams will pick up the Deadeye Assault Rifle if it's available. Then you need some sort of short-range weapon, so we've seen the Akimbo shotguns. Pretty much any shotgun has always been really good, or like you pointed out earlier, those SMGs. You get the advantage in a fight, you go and you push that advantage. Don't do it recklessly. Do it as a squad. We saw a couple of teams there where they were kind of rushed in one at a time, where you could see they spread out in the right pattern, but it was the execution afterwards. 3-2-1 is my favorite thing when it comes here, because if you are just disconnected from each other, if you are not there on the same page, if you just struggle to swap sources, it just becomes a bloodbath and you feed kills towards the enemy team, or someone has to run away eventually. But when you get it right, then you see the teams, and they do it patiently. They know when to pick up the tempo and when to drop it off. So, Fortnite's a deep game, but don't get caught up in the tricky, I have to get all my aim perfect at the same time. This is a team game. Work together and you'll be okay. Otherwise, we don't want one person to just drop out.
Yeah, unity is the strength. The numbers advantage is needed in this game. Or maybe not. Kyle pulled it off solo, so...
Yeah, moments for heroism, yeah. But that shouldn't be your default.
You shouldn't be like, I got this. Don't worry, I've got this. No, you gotta play with that unity. You have to stick together. And like you said, 3, 2, 1, and then shooting gets you more often than not first place in KP. And that's such a needed thing. It's insane. And of course, those wingsuits, we gotta go ahead and give massive props to that. Such a beautiful form of mobility. It's absolutely insane. You fly, 200 miles up in the sky, come crashing down to Earth. Absolutely insane. And how that worked out for a bunch of players over there, got them out of a dire situation. I think back on that one trio in the lake. I believe it was the CBK squad that used their wingsuits all at once and threw off the entire enemy team with their Deadeye Assault Rifles from focusing targets. Absolute insanity. That's the metas that people need to use in this. We've discussed that as best as we can, ladies and gentlemen. What we gotta do now is go ahead and give thanks to Ace and Nitro for making ASL possible, and wait for that battle bus to depart.
Yeah. Ace and Nitro has been invested in the scene. I mean, there's been so many people that have been invested in the scene. Shout out to all the teachers, principals, anyone who is an adult or supposed to be an adult and backing their kids here in ASL. It is such a great place for these guys to get an exhibition, to get some competitive experience, and we get to see that. That's the thing, AR. We talk about all these things you have to get right. These are the teams who have the experience, who've learned this the hard way, who've had coaching from a lot of these schools. And so shout out to Glenwood for coming first, because I know that's a school that takes it seriously and works really hard in the background. So you know that these guys have been drilling that play, and that's not an accident that Carl was up there on the high ground. That is something that they've run a couple of times and can make that decision then, and might even have a coach sitting in the background cheering them, coaching them, saying, you know, guys, this is the play we make at this stage. It's so nice to see that growth here. And a bit of a longer wait through this, but I'm also really excited to see how many players are getting excited by this. We've had a really nice full lobby through the whole day.
Yeah, absolutely. More and more players, more and more schools are opening their minds up to esports, and we see signups every single year, new schools, new players, and we love to go ahead and see that. We love to go ahead and have you guys here competing on ASL. So go ahead and check out how you're able to do things, because we want to see you in the next maybe term, maybe years to come for ASL. We want to see this grow even further. But Alt, the battle bus, says goodbye, drops all of its airbags out the way. Now our players diving down towards that island, and honestly a playing path that we have not seen before. A lot of players now going to the western, or the southwestern side, I should say, of this map. We see Taylor and squad. We see Flan here as well. And Rooster and company landing at Humble Hills. And you can get shields, you can get a gun easily and quickly here. Oh, you get that KP. There it is, quickly. Right there as King Taylor gets the first knock and looking to go ahead and get the bleed out over here. 14 HP and ticking down.
Gets into a nice corner. Who's still going to be able to take this text? Keeping a nice off angle, just punishing anyone who wants to try and thirst this kill, and buying so much time as single player. But they all come around the corner. That's a great shot to manage to trade out 1-for-1 for now. The res has gone off, it looks like. No, Bismarck is still down. Or at least goes down again, and Rooster are not going to get out there. Half a second difference. That was great step, but this is what we mean by a clean execute.
Oh, absolutely. And 8-4 for that squad, not knowing whether to go ahead and get the res off or fight that. A good job done over there by Texi to try and hold off to get that res out. But I mean the unity, and that's the unity we talked about. One coming in from the front, one coming in from the side, and one coming in through the back. Just to go ahead and have this sort of hyena squad finding out their prey and getting that KP early on. We're down a squad already, ladies and gentlemen, down to 48 players, and that's so early on in the game. We haven't even seen the first zone close in.
We had a similar story in game number 1 where there was one team that dropped out in the first 2 or 3 minutes and then nothing for the rest of it. It was kind of those people who landed in the same space, but everyone else seems to have spread out, which is, you know, really nice to see. And teams are now just focusing on gearing up. That fight was a great example of clear communication. We would not want communication to fail at any stage. It has to be nice, crisp, clear, with a good direction, and get the team ready for the end game, because now it settles. Now you pick whatever fights. You keep your eyes up and aware, but you focus on getting those materials, doing that homework, preparing, because every second still counts, even though nothing aggressive is happening.
Uzumaki and squad farming up that materials, and we talk about materials so often, and if you're wondering why, then you must have just missed out on that first game's ending with all of the builds. The Eiffel Tower in front of your very eyes, as everyone trying to get the high ground as quickly as possible. And CBK over here, they know they need those materials for the end game, and not even just for that end game, for any of these fights that may be upcoming in this mid game. As we talk about fights, Painted Palms right now, 2 squads so close by. You can see the stealth coming out again. Nice. It's Dragon, AWAC, and Mika. You can see trying to climb the rock for that height advantage to find out where this team may be and get some early KP.
Love this. Quietly goes out, spots it out, can call the rest of the team who's walking up behind them, and does not take any shots. Does not want to force this. Micah just next to it. Everyone working together right now. This is what we're talking about. You've got to be a single unit. But their patience is unfortunately being counted out by our golf carts. These guys have joined in together, but This is not a great route. They're kind of tucking back into the danger zone in there, opening up the opportunities. Shots go out. Popcorn. It's going to be the first one there, and no time for a snack break as wingsuit into the air. Dragon already there, though. Hunts it down. This is a Game of Thrones finale. There's the second player down there. Still Dragon on the hunt. Gonna go for it. One taps, reloads, cocks the second time, and finishes it off. That's just minimal effort, and minimal effort is highly rewarded to everyone except Deadpool.
A leisurely drive turned into getting stuck in a sand trap right there, and that is going to be clean kills over for Edgemead, AWAC Dragon, and Mika as they get some KP on the board very early on. Again, it's only zone number 2, 17 squads and 45 players. We've lost so many players so far, and it feels like we have only seen those 2 fights. We haven't seen anything else going on as everyone else is getting their materials up, getting the ammo that they need, the heals. But look how many squads have shown up to the studios today, Alt. They all want that tour of Sus Studios. They all want to see where the movies get made, all the live CGI trailers and stuff happening. And a beam from Ethan as well coming through. And what a loadout on Ethan. Full purple right now.
Oh, everyone's got some stuff, and they've all shown up. We are about to see the absolute cinema ARs. All going to be climbing up towards the height. Look at how quickly they take this. Even taking the time to fire in the distance and quick return shots. The builds to counter it out. Ethan preferring the close range engagements. Takes advantage in the build battle. He'll be dropping down though. A little bit juked and those up. Team sticking nice and close together. That is not the place you want to be. No defense. Is Gachabo going to be beamed down and the thirst is on. Ethan going to be chasing after that, but there's still danger around. You cannot afford to focus tunnel vision. Zero chill with the spy on another player. So the team already feeling like they've got control of this, and there's only one player left, I believe, unless it's one from 2 other teams. There's enough of them around here that they're certainly right for the picking. Shots go up towards the wingsuits coming through there. I see Dragon picking up 2 more kills as well.
One of the few times that players have looked up here in ASL. You see Zero Chill spotting out those wingsuits up above, and I mean, those players just absolutely froze up there, Alt, and got taken out so quickly. Ethan now pushing in. Shotgun and Deadeye in hand, or I should say the SMG. Another wingsuit goes off, and the confirm comes through. But look at these beams coming through. They are tracking so well. Yes, the bullets may not be hitting, but they are deep in zone right now. They're getting a bit of flinch as well, and they are not bothered by it one bit. They want that KP more than anything right now.
That's worth it, right? You can put in so much more damage. I mean, people are getting basically full to zeroed from someone standing in the storm. Sure, that's worth 10 HP. We'll get that back. I'll take it off your corpse, unfortunately for you. Man, it's a great chance, but no real damage being done. No extra teams really falling by the wayside. Certainly lines coming out here. It's Ethan and Zero Chill. They were the second place team from lobby number 1. Oh, that's a great lineup. And there goes the shots going straight through. They're even in the green variant. That Deadeye is a potent weapon.
Ooh, up close and personal is Ethan. Oh, awareness.exe has stopped working right there as Ethan sneaks up on the roof, gets that shotgun shot, and then gets the beam with the SMG as well. And we're down to 15 teams. It's only storm number 3, but I'm not going to rush this. This is what we see every single time. It evens out. It slows down. We get to that 10 squads in the final few zones. But we move over to our duo right now, Aimbot and Josh, as they look maybe to get a sneaky play off of here. Alt, I'm not sure if you're aware of what these doors do, but if you press that button when your opponent is right underneath that door, it's an instant knock.
I've seen the clips. It's great. As someone who's actually down, managing to take cover, I've seen it's a brilliant addition to the game, just because you should not be dying to a door. And if you do, you kind of deserve it. So, love to see it. I don't know if we're going to get to see that. There's something for your bingo card if you guys are keeping score. We go down. I like to see this many teams still alive, AR, even if it's just a solo player, because this is kind of the last time to see the reses, but no res going to come out there. Jex, Leo, Jello, let's go with Jello. The last one for the team, and That was a squad that lasted well into lobby number 1.
I mean, thought that they were safe. Did you see that? Thought that they were safe using that wingsuit on the hill, and then just got absolutely control alt deleted there by King Jr. and squad. And I look at the loadout on King Jr. right now. Has the mobility on that wingsuit. Has 2 of the Flowberry Fizzes to go ahead and heal those shields up and get the zero gravity effect. And then the shotgun and the Deadeye, the guns that you want. No, the guns that you need. Especially when the talent and the skill level is so high. But an MK7's a good challenge over here on. Redman has a softened shotgun as well. And now getting surrounded. Look at that. The wall's getting taken. Deep in the builds right now is the president himself taking down Redman. And I mean, that was unfortunate to watch over there. Not focusing on surroundings, just moving up the hill and gets absolutely taken out. As we move over to Volix over here and rest of squad. Look how many people are in the zone right now, Alt.
They're all taking big damage. Now we're getting to the zones where you got to keep up the heals, and eliminations is a great way to get that regen going and save your team, but you got to finish it fast. And the squad still follows up. They got 13 kills in lobby number 1. I think that was up to about 6 or 7 that we saw right now, but forcing a lot of teams into hard resetting the lobby. And that means Clausy Lodge now still paying close attention are a lot of these squads. There's people nearby. And every moment, there is no walk up the hill with a casual map open, friend, at this stage.
Frosty and Darth Death, they hear the steps around them. They don't want to give up positioning. They don't want to give up that placement. 12 teams is where we're at. 32 players. Kyle and the rest of squad now, they approach. They're looking to go ahead and book a weekend over here at the lodge. Right now, just scoping out the view, seeing if they want to pay that full rate. No one to be seen as of yet. Look how silent the duo is beneath them inside. Crouched up. Not giving away position whatsoever. This is hide and seek 2026, ladies and gentlemen. As now the shots go up on a completely different team. And the wingsuits as well. That's insane that Frosty and company is going to be safe down there.
They're just ignoring it. This is Jurassic Park 2026, and it's the confirmation of the kills. That quick aggression once you get that early window in here, and the window comes slamming shut. As all 3 players of CBK, a team that is renowned in our ASL leagues. Year after year, they've shown up. They're going to have to show up again next week because that's the end of their tournament for the day.
28 players, 10 squads, and only zone number 4. This is one of those games where the numbers dwindle down much quicker than we expect here, Alt. I mean, 28 players, 10 squads left on the 4th circle is crazy to think, especially with what we're used to seeing in ASL. As Monkey King, King Jr., and President himself spot out that person flying through with the wingsuit. Take a couple of shots, but not enough to go ahead and get the knock. You can see farming up a little bit more mats over here. Now pushing across this bridge. A risky push, so they build up real quick over on the bridge. In fact, it looks like they're prepping for when the zone meets. They're keeping that center of the bridge for themselves when the zone closes in. Because look at that circle. Half of it in the storm, and the bridge, the dead center of it.
Oh, clearing those open spaces now, a jetpack becomes mandatory. If you've got a team controlling a bridge like this, although, you know, building a bridge too early is sometimes an attraction for unwanted attention. I mean, now they could be the center, and being crossfired, you can't sustain all of the bridges. It's up to the other teams as to how much they want to keep to themselves. A couple of teams like this one just get themselves towards a corner, make sure they've got control of their nearby area. Means that they can now edit themselves a little window, something to shoot out. And jetpacks, the later the zone moves, the more dangerous it is to be caught out in the air.
All of these teams, there's still teams in painted palms just chilling right now and waiting for the last moment to move in. A couple of teams actually over here. There's even the airdrop on the way to zone. I don't think any of these players are going to go for it though. That's just a risky spot to be in right now, especially with that many players around you and 30 seconds left to get to the safety of zone. Darth Death just trying to go ahead and battle roll, dodging all of those bullets. Did get hit a couple of times over there, so we'll have to take the next few seconds to get back up to tip-top shape. But everyone else playing it passively on this north side, trying to just move in casually to the zone. But we know that doesn't last for too long, Alt. We know that the chaos has to ensue one way or another.
Someone's looking at you. With this many teams in the lobby, someone is looking at the edge of the zone, and you're going to be under pressure quickly. So building up the priority right now. Kyle and the squad, the survivalists from the previous ones, in a much better position as we get here. Kill feed lights up. Darth Death has been caught out in the air a couple of times for now, and this time it costs them. And King Taylor, the ticking out right now, desperately would love a teammate to res them, but Kyle takes the offensive. 5 KP already to the squad, and there's 8 teams left. This is going to just be constant. And look at that map. There's more teams just rotating on top of you over and over again. You are fighting with every bullet you've got.
Alt, I fear that on this Wednesday we may have cast a curse to it just a little bit. We said the edge of zone. That has become the new zone now. All the way up north. And every team now having to rotate north into that safety. But look how much people are there. It looks like there's a player on the airdrop as well.
Ooh.
So they're just playing it out until someone pushes them. Over here, first time I'm seeing the mythic Flex SMG in someone's inventory as well. Volix has the mythic Akimbos for that close range as well.
I mean, now the guns don't matter, right? Now you're loot. Everyone's playing on the same fields. It's now about execution. It's about the decision making, taking these low engagements, quick builds, keep yourself alive from every angle. Being priority number 1. Pulls out the Akimbos, realizes no one's within the shooting distance. So they path around, everyone fighting for that high ground. Suddenly, the importance of it is permeated. Kyle not up there, though. Just discarding that strategy from the previous map. Maybe just not wanting to commit too early. Ethan and squad is up here, but they're diminished in terms of what materials they've got left.
Golden MK7 over there in Tyler's hands as well. AWAC, Dragon, and Mika, they're still good and going strong within this. 21 players as the zone shifts one more time to the southwest. And now all players have to be aware that this next rotate is going to be devastating, especially with how grouped up all of these teams currently are. And there's only 7 seconds left for these players to move. Tyler gets taken out over there, rolled down the hill, trying to get to safety, but gets found out either way by AWAC nonetheless. That is going to be a confirmation. Down to 20 players is where we are. Everyone now has to move all at once. You can see Edgemead going down immediately. I believe on a wing, all of them using wingsuits as well for that rotate. But now with 40 seconds left, it's going to be that mad dash, that mad scramble to the safety of the zone. Let's see exactly how much bloodshed happens over here.
Yeah, Edgemead renowned for doing those early rotations because picks are so important. Giving away that 3-person advantage is huge. And so everyone, they top up. They're going to either run early or run late. Running in the middle is a surefire way to get you shot down. You can see the bullets already. The team's even just a couple of steps ahead of you. Not afraid to turn around and shoot you down. This is Mad Max. This is where the apocalypse happens. And everything that can go wrong does for any of these teams. Cannot afford to lose a single member. Somehow still at 8 teams. No full squads being taken out. And President Pravan, the last person there, 3, 2, 1. The bullets fired simultaneously from everyone, and it's an onslaught. They can't shoot through the bullets, though. Pravan clicking furiously to keep those walls in place.
Pravan might be Spider-Man. I'm just going to say that because as they counted down to 1, you saw that spider sense kick in and the walls got built immediately, and surviving that as well as we get taken down to 7 teams, 15 players, and now it's all about the height advantage as the zone shifts one more time, this time to the east. And now wingsuits getting popped. You can see the cones popped out already right now.
There they are.
But it's not by a team we've seen do this before. Kyle and the rest of squad are on top, yes, but usually we see Edgemead do this track.
Edgemead has been usurped. This particular Wednesday is completely different. Everything unexpected is happening here today. And I mean, Kyle, it worked for them in lobby number 1. It's now they've got a far better sight line, and it's all these teams below. I love the use of natural cover coming out here from Zero Chill and the rest of the squad. This, I believe, is Pure School Dynamica. President Pravan actually gets a kill. I love that. Dragon under pressure. Edgemead, they have been usurped for today. They were able to pick up both lobbies last week. Dragon furiously gets some space, and It's a quick job. Mike actually getting kills, and so is Carl.
The fact that Dragons survived there for that long is insane with that fancy footwork, but now the height advantage is going to come into play. Look how many cones are in the sky as we are down to our top 3. Alt, take these final moments away.
Teams we know, teams we love, they've all got fans and they're here in chat waiting to witness. As we see Edgemead on the low ground getting taken complete by surprise. They can't even afford to look up. A Zero Chill, Voxus, Ethan, they're all here on the low ground. A fight between our 3 titans of the Wednesday fortnight here in ASL. And Zero Chill going to be the first casualty. Still 6 players up between 3 teams. Vox actually manages to pick up one. And AWAC goes down. Edgemead on the last couple of players. It's the team on high ground, though. They have got the full trio. They've got the full loadouts. They've been uncontested. And it's up now. I think it's Dinamika on the low ground. Vox, Ethan, furiously building. They're trying to avoid the zone, but they've got no angle AR. This is just a matter of time, is it not?
Absolutely, Glenwood on the height, looking to go ahead and get the second lobby of today's Wednesday 3v2 situation. Vox, Akimbos is going to go ahead, get one down. Winnable is what you say over at this point in time. Ethan now also on the low ground. They're going to do everything that they can. You can see building those ceilings up. Divine is going to bleed out to the storm. A clean 2v2 is where we're at. Connie has that flex SMG that's mythic still. Vox has that mythic Akimbos. Connie drops down with the spray. That could have been disastrous over there with that Akimbos in hand. Vox now, they're playing the inside of the house. This is so smart. This is going to come down to a heal off perhaps. With all of these builds, all of these walls, all of these ceilings and cones in the way. Launch pad gets thrown down as well. Builds up around it. Looking to maybe go ahead and get a sneaky little jump. Let's get coned off over there. This is probably the longest end game that we have seen so far, Alt, in ASL history. And the height's still being kept. That's insane how they've kept height this effectively for so long. They've got 10 to their name already in KP. They want that win to boost that points up even further, but the opposing squad just playing it so passively. I mean, they're 10 as well. This is an even game between these two teams right now. The only thing I can think of that could be disastrous is the ammo as Kyle gets a big beam over on Ethan. And this could be the pushing point, but you can see how cautious they are playing on height. Choosing to go ahead and pop those heals, top up, Chug Jug even getting thrown down, and they're just trying to burn through every bit that this team down low might have, whether it be materials or heals. Alt.
This is a war of attrition. This is the most tactical end game, like you say. It's normally furious.
It's insane.
And the team at top have done their homework. They've got made sure that their sky base has got no weak points to be able to collapse it underneath them. But doing the work to get that. Carl goes down. Carl goes down. There's been an engagement. Suddenly the 2v1. Konya looking to be the champion here for Glenwood High School. And we're able to pull it off with a single play in the past. They've still got the height advantage. It could come down to the heel of it. But does Konya absolutely has the advantage. Still got that jetpack if they need to make some sort of mad dash or disengage. Decides to start the heal off now. Gets the shields up to max. The zone ever smaller. AR, I don't know. Certainly not in the last year or two. We haven't had a heal off like this.
Oh, no way. And you're absolutely right. Connie has the advantage over here, but here's the problem. There's only 7 builds left over on Connie. Building those cones is going to be the die situation, and it gets broke as well. Now the heals have to get popped. The zone shrinking to its finality over here. Ethan, Vox, they're trying to heal up as best they can. Ethan gets taken down. Connie, 2 med kits in the inventory. Healing off Vox as well, though. 1 left in each of these players' inventories. This is insanity. Both players now on their last med kit. Connie has to win this. Has the clear health advantage. And Vox down finally as Connie, Kyle, and Divine. 2 games, 2 wins, 11 eliminations.
Connie living up to the name. Awesomer at the last. It's just that high ground advantage. They weren't burning through their materials. I mean, they were burning through materials, and that nearly cost them towards the end. I love that little fake out and then dedicate backwards. The zone's here. Whether I'm fighting above them or in the middle of them, or I take my save zone and I guarantee a heal off, I've got 2 full kegs there. I've got 3 health packs. plays a game of poker, has the full house behind the name, and just waits it out. Perfectly timed, perfectly executed. Glenwood take 2 out of 2. And it doesn't always have to be end in a bloodbath. I love that. Your bingo card, add another tick.
We have to make those bingo cards. Like, listen, guys, broadcasters, can we get a bingo card for everyone watching to just tick off? Because ASL has some of the craziest things that we've seen, from 1 HP clutches down to a solo win, down to a solo heal off, almost in a single day. That's absolute insanity over there. And then to go ahead and get 11 kills as well in the second game. How much did they have in the first one? I think they had around 10 or so. Yeah. And that's 2 wins in a row, both double-digit eliminations. Absolute insanity for this Wednesday afternoon.
What I love is the second place team in both those lobbies are the people, the same team over and over. Hoor School Dynamica. We're getting the leaderboards updated, so we'll give you the official breakdown now. But that rivalry, that's what school sports in general is about, is that team. Doesn't matter whether they're 5Ks down the road or on the other side of the country when it comes to esports. The team that shows up on the same day and says, every lobby, we are coming for you. Edgemead, surprisingly quiet. They were there in our top 5 teams. I'm not sure exactly what placement they came, but it is these teams that have put in the work. They know what they're doing. They know what they're coming into. It's Wednesday. They are ready to fight it out. And oh, it's so fun to watch out. They're prepared for anything, AR.
It seems like Wednesday is the rivalry day right now. Yeah. This is 3rd week in a row that we're seeing at least 2 of these schools go head-to-head. 2 Titans going at it for that top spot on the leaderboard. And this time, one of those Titans, they managed to go ahead and get both games. Like Alt said, we're getting that leaderboard sorted out for all of you guys, and might actually be done very, very soon over here, and we'll get into it. But of course, ASL brought to you by Ace and Nitro, ladies and gentlemen. Week number 3 of term 1, and there's still so much more ASL to go through, with term 2 coming up as well in the near future. But Alt, take us through the leaderboard.
No surprise, 172 points and clear victor. 2 lobbies behind their name. It is Glenwood High, and off the back of a team effort carried to the end by a solo torchbearer. Great play by them, and still points racking up down the board. And what I love about this is it's different teams from last week. Definitive victories, each in their own time. And it means that you talk about the length of this. This is, I think, 9 weeks for term number 1. I'm not 100% sure on that. It's normally about 9 weeks. That's a lot of weeks. That's a lot of leaderboards that start adding up together. And I mean, look at the teams coming up towards the top. Swartkorp out there constantly. Edgemead coming in 3rd. So there and thereabouts. Certainly not falling behind in the overall leaderboard. But Hoor School Dynamica, my favorite one to see out. This is not a school that we've seen before. And just to alludes to ASL, it's year by year. As people matriculate, new people have hit their prime and come to be legends. Master megastars in the making, right? Yeah. AR, that's what megastars in the making here on ASL.
I also want to just talk for a second about how important aiming for that placements is, because Dynamica had 24 kills and they came in 2nd. GHS, Glenwood, had 21, and those 2 wins boosted them up to 1st. That's how important the placements are alongside the eliminations. You can't just have one or the other. You have to have, like Thanos said, perfect balance between both. But Alt, that's a Wednesday wrapped up, my dude, and a chaotic one nonetheless. Rivalries coming up once more on a Wednesday afternoon, and the question now is, what's going to happen on a Thursday lobby?
Well, if you guys want to know the answer, because I certainly do, tomorrow, 4 o'clock is when we kick off most of these, and it's going to be great to see, because it's different teams. It's a completely new dynamic that we get to see. The game that we all love, completely unique every time we step into it. We showcased it today, from 6 teams in the final zones to the absolute pinnacle of a stalemate right there at the end. We bring you everything. ASL, 2 days a week. Beautiful place to see what the grassroots of South African esports looks like. It's been a pleasure to bring you this broadcast, though. AR, myself, Altruism, we do this We love to see you. You'll see AR again tomorrow. You definitely want to see that beautiful face, don't you? But for today, and a thank you to, of course, the whole of ACGL and the crew running in the background, Peach and Reggie. They make this all look fantastic and keep things nice and smooth. But until tomorrow, keep playing, keep passionate, keep working hard, and we'll see you then. Bye!